everybody, and welcome to the FMRA-modified SK series, whatever you want to call it. We call it the Dash series here at the FMRA. I'm Lee Dark, and I'm joined this week by the man who couldn't make it to the last several races. It is Josh Aldrich. Josh, how you feeling, buddy?
Oh, boys, great! I'm happy to be back behind the booth up here with you. I've been having Aldrich racing obligations, and it took me away from you, but I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad you're back, too. We got to talk about the accident. Chris Michaels got into an accident during practice by himself, luckily. Didn't take out no other cars, but was unable to lay down a practice time. Him and several other teams pitched in, got his car back running. We want to shout out for Michaels Miller Racing to G.A.M.E Motorsports and Aldridge Racing for helping him get their cars back onto the road. And right now it looks like Trey Fanta is sitting on the pole, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, he's laying down a fast lap. He was decent during a practice, and he's found something and improved on his car for this qualifying session, and let's see if it can translate to him having a dominant run in today's race.
It could definitely translate to that. Chris Michaels not having I mean, you get into a wreck like that, does it take a minute to get you back on your feet, Josh, before I go through this lineup?
It takes a minute for you to get back on your feet and get, reacquainted, and, this might not be the equipment and the setup that you want, but it's what you have.
Also, he had to be checked out by medical, so who knows how fast he got into that car. I don't even know if he completed all 2 of his laps. All right, guys, let's go ahead and run the order. Sitting on the pole, we got none other than 387 of Trey Fanta. Sitting next to him is the 71 of Donnie. Next row, we got the 98 of Brad Miller sitting next to the 69. Joseph Robinson. Then we got the 54 of Brandon Cook next to the 57 of Bruno. Next up, we got the 710 of Chronics High next to the 88 of Brett Rainier. The 27 of Jeremy Stelhorn next to the 5 of Aaron Aldridge. We got the 59 of Christopher Rich next to the 007 of Jackson Beauregard. We got the 24 of Stephen Clark next to the 722 of Caden Gamble. We got the 74 of Barry Sternparch Jr. next to the 01 of Dylan Wagner. You got the 95 of Brett Aldridge next to the 18 of Austin Kiesler. You got the 19 of Chris Chaos next to the 21 of Tyler Ferguson. We got the 00 of Billy Ray Dog next to the 7 of Christian Gunn. We got the 001 of Mike Storm next to the 26 of Rory Thompson. We got the 99 of Chris Michaels at the tail of the field with the 22 of Corey Gamble. And Josh, now that we're in this position, we could kind of talk about everyone up here in the lead, how the weeks have been prior. We've seen some fantastic racing here in the SK series. Newcomers, big things we should talk about. I mean, Trey Fanta running up front after the several seasons he's had of being not as dominant as he would like, and he was very adamant about that in all the interviews, how if he didn't feel like he could get it together this year, he was going to step out of the car. And Josh, how are you feeling about Trey so far this season?
Well, I think he's got it together. And I'm glad he has. I mean, stepping away, for obvious reasons is something you never want to see out of a driver regardless. And I'm glad he's got together and running up front because, I like him.
I like him too, Josh. I think that Trey definitely has improved this season, and even if he doesn't end up as much progress as he thinks he should had already this season, I'm going to say, Trey, if you end up listening to this, that your progress has been more than great. I would even say give it another year if it doesn't turn out this year exactly like you want with the improvements I've seen.
Hey, so far, comeback of the year.
I would have to say so. And then now we're going to see the teammates here. Rad Roots Racing, they replaced Rory Thompson, who originally drove the 1 car with an 0-1 of Dylan Wagner Nesquick on the side of that Chevy for Rad Roots. Dylan is right next to teammate Barry Sternparch Jr., who's also the team owner in the 74. Now, the reason why I brought this up Josh, is because we got to look at the tail of the field here. The 26. The 26 was the number of Barry Sternparts Jr. He got rid of it and made a deal with Brainbuster Motorsports, Joseph Robinson, Jeff Beck, and they got rid of the 74 and found another number unused, and they claimed it, and Barry swooped up to 74 for Rad Roots Racing, and, Rory Thompson given the boot, and he selected for his team, Thompson Racing, the 26 to kind of take a stab at Barry, it felt like to me. Josh, I'll get your opinion here in a second, but there's one more thing I'd like to note is he does not have a manufacturer for that car. Everything you see is something he has went out and bought, no help from nobody.
Yeah, I mean, he went out and you can buy these, I'm not going to say off-brand parts, but that's practically what it is. It's parts that can fit any engine out there, and he's pieced that together. But I would have to say that I do feel it's a jab that, taking the 26.
I feel like it's a jab too. Rory got Lionel Racing on board of that SK though, and I guess he's in talks with a couple manufacturers. Chevy wants nothing to do with Rory Thompson.
And I'm guessing Rory Thompson feels the same way, the feeling is mutual there, I mean, if I was in his shoes, I'd be feeling the same way,
I agree. Josh being the one in charge of any misconduct, and basically he is your grand marshal of the FMRA, and he hands out the fines, everything like that. And so with Josh's job, Josh, would you say that you've had to hand out a lot of fines to Rory? Has Rory been in? Does Rory deserve all this heat that he's getting?
To some extent, I would say he doesn't. I mean, some of it is justified, but people keep on piling on, and jumping on the bandwagon. What if everybody else is doing it? I will too, and I feel some of it is unjustified.
You heard it from the Grand Marshal of the FMRA there. I mean, if he feels that way, then I don't know why the drivers... I mean, granted, at Daytona, he ruined a lot of drivers' chances, and I believe one other incident, but I don't believe fines were ever served to Rory or Rad Roots Racing for any misconduct on their part. I think Josh found it as just racing. Here we go, though. And Trey gets a humongous run.
Wow.
He gets a huge run taking off 69 to Joseph Robinson, who's another big improved player. He still hasn't quite figured out all the series and all the cars yet, but here in the SK series, we've seen him running up front quite a bit. But he ends up getting tangled up in a mess towards the end, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, just luck runs out, and maybe they can be different.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at Martinsville Speedway. We got 50 laps. We're 2 laps in, and right now, Trey Fanta is your leader. Joseph Robinson in second. And the 54 of Brandon Cook, lows on that 54. Cookies and Cream Racing. Nice. Very, very nice car there. Ford
yes.
Manufacturer. I believe Aldridge Racing is another helper for Cookies and Cream, helps them with their parts, because like I said, each manufacturer has its main team.
Well, we had a car hit the wall back there, no harm, no foul. Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're good. That's your job. You call them out as you see them. There is a lot of banging back here.
It looked like the 710 may have scraped the wall.
Austin Kiesler making his way up. Dylan Wagner there. He's not been happy with his performance. We heard him say in an interview, but even though this race is just getting in, we're 5 laps in, he's still holding about 10 to 12th. He is falling back right now on that top side, but he's done pretty well for a newcomer, a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, exceptionally well.
Right now, here's your leaders still, Trey Joseph, Brandon Cook. And, this is big for Brandon Cook. We brought it up several times. This is the only series for that car, for that team. And a win for him here could really benefit that team.
Yeah, a win would be great for him and his team.
Right now, Trey is pulling away. Trey Fanta, he was the owner of his own team, Uto Racing, but he was finding he just was unhappy with some of the progress of his own team, and with the help of Fat Money Racing, he sold it to Fat Money Racing, joined them as half owner, and gave part of his other team to Barry Sternparts so he could go off and he could start his team. And since then, I mean, Trey's been really happy with his team's performance, but he wasn't happy with his own.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, I think he might be grinning right now.
I mean, we do see some cars gaining, but do they have enough to keep up with Trey? Trey seems to have this kind of figured out here at Martinsville. Joseph is gaining on him by a little bit, but will he be able to get around? That's the big question, because once you go to that outside, you fall back, you have to get him on the inside. Brad Miller, who's been great last season, doing exceptionally well here this season, trying to work his way to the front. The 88 of Brett Rainier. We've seen the M&M's 88 a lot up front, but hasn't really pulled off that W yet, Josh.
He hasn't, but like you said, we see him running up front, making his way through the field. It's just a matter of time before we see the number 88 in victory lane.
And of course, Snap-on Racing starting to make their way towards the front. We've brought it up several times. This is probably one of, if not the biggest team in the field, just money power alone.
They do be rolling in it.
57 of Bruno has Austin Kiesler to his inside. Austin couldn't get the pass done. Going to end up falling behind there. People are starting to move their way forward, Josh, and this is where we start to see the cars that have the longevity, and which cars do not. We're 15 laps into this 50-lap race, Martinsville.
Yeah, and race strategies are going in full effect here. I mean, Martinsville, you always got to be on your P's and Q's because the tight quarters racing and makes it hard to pass here as well. So you got to constantly trying to think of race strategies and lines and etc.
The gap that was shrinking is now growing between Trey and Joseph. Brandon Cook is also falling back from Joseph as well. Things are starting to get spread out here towards the front. Trey could go from pole to victory lane here tonight. If you were a crew chief right now, Josh, what would you be whispering in the ear of Trey Fanta?
Keep your line. You're doing fine. Don't overthink it.
I mean, right now he is just pulling away from Joseph Robinson.
He is, and I've seen it, not that it's an issue right here at this moment, but I've seen it work to where a driver will be gaining on a driver, let's say he's gaining on a leader, and in some series, you're not allowed to have rear view mirrors. So you work solely on hand signals and etc. It's on the dirt tracks level. I've seen it play out to where the second place car will be gaining on the leader, but they will hand motion the leader, telling him that he has a huge gap, and he'll straighten up his racing line and race more his line and not so much on the defense and put away with the win. And it's because he thinks he's got a sizable lead. That might have to come into play here today.
Well, Joseph Robinson.
I'm trying to make sense of that. I'm sorry if it's butchered.
No, you did incredible, I think. Right now, Joseph Robinson is starting to fall real off pace. Brandon Cook trying to find his way high. Brad Miller's also trying to get in position. But in doing so, we're starting to see a race for second place, which could lead to big things. One car get thrown way off there, the 71. Brandon Cook again going to try to go to the inside of Joseph Robinson. He hits it way low, sends it. Joseph has to go up, and he falls back into line, but he loses several positions, Josh.
Loses a lot of positions, a lot of momentum there.
Will be a caution.
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 The 21 of Tyler Ferguson.
Looks like him and Rich got together.
I don't know if Rich actually touched him or if he just got loose.
Loose? Let's see if we can find a better angle.
Nope. I don't know, Josh. That's your department. Let's see if we can hop onto the nose of Christopher Rich. Was that not Christopher Rich? Was that Bruno?
Bruno? Perhaps. If it wasn't, my apologies.
What happened? Am I missing something? Hang on. Is that Bruno? I think it's Bruno. Yeah.
Bruno, okay. My apologies.
Did we wind back too far?
May have.
Right there.
Green, green, green.
It touched.
Oh, we're green.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Come on. Come on. Trey Fanta
Getting that lead again.
He has a great car tonight, Josh.
Seems like it's really great on the starts and the restarts.
Brad Millers took second. Austin Kiesler making his way up here. Might be the biggest mover of today. He started 17th and now he's in 4th.
Big mover, yes. Third.
Oh, my apologies. He's in 3rd.
Oh.
I mean, that's Fat Money Racing right there.
Yeah.
Got some good cars tonight, apparently. Brad Miller's gaining on the 387. Joseph Robinson is falling way back. Sorry, that's not Joseph Robinson. Jeremy Stillhorn in the 27. There's Joseph Robinson. I missed you, bud. Joseph Robinson's falling back to 5th. Brandon Cook fell all the way back to 13th.
You will have a caution, caution, caution.
Another
Get the
caution flag.
Clean this mess up here.
Oh! Brett Aldridge upside down.
Looks like he just got up in the marbles and come down and just never got fully control of it from that angle.
Yeah, we'll watch it one more time here. It looked like, you know, just they're all pushing there in a line. He's all by himself there, runs up. A little too hot into that corner, comes down, doesn't see the 88. Or the 88 doesn't see him, gets right into the wall. I know he's on his top, but luckily that's really not that bad of an accident there. "38 laps into this 50-lap race. Josh, how you feeling?
Good old Martinsville. And a good one so far.
So we got the 387, and we got the 18, the 98, the 71. Donnie's still there. Joseph Robinson going to be top 5. G.A.M.E Motorsports starting to make their way up. You see their gray cars all in a line there. These guys running a little low. Josh, if the 18 has the same setup as the 387, are we going to see a fight for the lead from Fat Money Racing, or do you think the 98 might still have something here?
That's a hard one to answer. I think he may still have a little something, but you know, if there are odds against you, it could be devastating for you if you have two drivers trying to bypass you. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Can't count out Joseph Robinson there. Can't count out G.A.M.E Motorsports. So this one could be crazy upon restart. Looks like Dylan's made his way towards the front here. Started in 15th, now in 9th. Chris Michaels as well. Chris Michaels started 26th, and now he's in 10th.
We're coming around to 10 to go next time around once they take the green flag. Going to be a nice little shootout to the finish.
Again, Michaels Miller Motorsports wants to thank Aaron Aldridge and Aldridge Racing, Corey Gamble and Gamble Motorsports for helping him get his car back on the go. And the 18 goes right under the 98. And here we go. Oh, but here comes Joseph Robinson.
I'm about to say, Trey didn't get that lead he normally does.
The 18, Fat Money Racing has some fast cars here tonight, apparently. The 18 goes under.
Uh-oh.
Austin Keysler going to take this lead away. Trey holding on. Trey gets run up a little bit. He holds in there. Wow.
What a race for the lead we got going on here coming around.
Gets washed up bad time there. Couldn't hold on like he did. The 18's going to take the lead.
Remember how we said biggest mover? He said, watch this. He wasn't done moving.
Oh, Trey, though, looking for the inside of the 18.
We'd see it crossover.
18 didn't let him through that time.
We got 3 wide hitting the wall back there. Couldn't make out who it was, but it seems like everybody got it sorted out just fine.
Right now, we're at lap 44 of 50, 45 of 50. 6 laps to go. Austin Kieslers took the lead. Trey second. Joseph Robinson third. You got the 7 of Christian Gunn trying to make his way forward here, along with the 71. And the 01 of Dylan right outside the top 5 in 6th place. 15th to 6th. Austin Kiesler's pulling away from Trey, Josh.
Pulling away. Hey, he's checking out. He sees that checkered flag in his future, and he's saying, sayonara, boys.
Austin Kiesler started out 17th today. 17th. And is now leading this race with 3 laps to go once he crosses the line. Dylan trying to pass the 98, but the 98 trying to pass Dylan, one of the two, as the 18s to come by, 2 laps to go.
If Trey has something for him, this is now the time to do it.
Trey gets washed up.
Uh-oh. We're going to have a race for second place right now. Look at this.
Austin Kiesler pulling away with 1 lap to go. White flag in the air. Joseph Robinson. Trey falls back another one. He's just losing it, losing that car. Christian Gunn makes his way up to 3rd. Austin Kiesler comes around here to take the checkered flag and win at Martinsville. Joseph
Biggest
Robinson.
mover of the day.
Yeah, he is. I mean, well, I don't know. You got the 20. Christian Gunn started 21st and 3rd. There,
Oh,
you'll have to do some math for me. Chris Michaels started 26, ended up 11th, but top 3. I'll run probably top 10. We got Austin Kiesler in first, Joseph Robinson second, Christian Gunn third, Trey Fanta fell back to 4th, Donnie 5th, Dylan Wagner 6th, Brad Miller 7th, Brandon Cook 8th, Chronix Hyde 9th, Chris Chaos 10th. You want to see where your driver ended up? Go ahead and read the board, pause it, zoom in, do everything you need to, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.